Hey there, my friend, it's Dave Wood. I'm talking to you in front of my pool in the mountains in Escazú, Costa Rica. The wind is blowing, and it's a beautiful day as the sun is setting in the background, and I wanted to make a video just updating you. And so this is going to be a little bit of a different video because this is a free flow update. I want to tell you what's going on in a couple of different parts of the company. I do have some notes that I'm looking at, and so my eyes might look around from time to time looking at the notes, but I'm going to free flow as I'm talking through those notes, and I want to just talk to you about the future. I want to talk to you about the vision. I want to talk to you about the direction that we're going. I'm going to try to keep this between 10 and 15 minutes. I've got some bonuses that I've written for you on the next page, as well as an audio of today's update that I encourage you to download after we're done. And also, if you're seeing this and you're not involved in our community, I encourage you to get involved. You can do that by commenting and also by putting your email in and grabbing your bonuses that are on the next page. And so, first of all, I've been actually a little bit quiet lately publicly, and there's reasons for that. Sometimes people, especially if they don't know me, they think that if I go quiet, I kind of disappear, or there's something that I'm not responding to. Those of you who know me, you know actually what I'm actually doing, which is that I'm working on something that might be extremely technical and take an incredible amount of conscious energy. And if I have conscious energy really vested in something, it takes all my attention and energy, and I basically stop focusing on everything else, which occasionally means communicating as well. And so lately, I've been in a mode like that, where what I've been doing is I've been focused on building out the systems and processes to lead us into the future starting this next year, but this next year is a part of the next 10 and the next 100. And so what have I actually been working on? Well, some simple things inside of our member experience, inside of our community over the last little bit. Those of you who are members, you can log in, you can see these things. And those of you who aren't members, of course, you're welcome to come in. You're welcome to join and to get involved, and we'll actually get a coach to connect with you and to help walk you through the process of building your business in the right way and reaching the goals that you want, which is, of course, what we're here to help you do. Because my mission is actually really simple. I could be an affiliate, I could be selling anything that I want. I don't actually need to run a company. I'm really effective at building teams, really effective at recruiting. Before I did this, I was the #1 recruiter in 4 different direct sales companies on the internet, all from home, actually living on the beach a couple hours a day. And I started this company because I actually want to empower people, and to empower people, I've got to be able to help them to do different kinds of things. And so that's what I'm actually going to talk to you about today. So I've been quiet, but what I've been working on is a handful of things. Number one, what we've been doing is we've been simplifying our member experience and increasing the amount of results that people are getting from less work, who are affiliates inside of our community, but also our customers. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's a thing that people experience that inhibits them from action that is described, you could describe it as cognitive dissonance, cognitive disconnection between two parts, where people go through a confusion stage, and anytime somebody has a confusion stage before an action step, what happens is the amount of time it takes them to even get started is exponentially expanded. So the simpler you can make a system to use, the more you can reduce the cognitive dissonance in the mind of the people that are using that system, and the less confusion they have, the more action they take, but it doesn't follow a linear path, it follows actually an exponential path. And so those of you who've been members in our community, you've noticed that we've simplified, number one, what people do every day, down to where literally it takes less than an hour to do personal development and all the action steps and all the marketing assignments that a part-time person would need to do in the day to over the next year with us create a full-time income on the internet. So we've massively reduced the amount of steps, massively simplified them through our daily shortcut process, and we've also simplified our members' experience. And so I started doing this in about July of last year, and I literally just started chopping out pages because over the last 5 years, we've done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales and have just continued to accumulate pages, and I wasn't in there managing a lot of the back office experience for a long time, so I started to do that and literally just started hacking things off. And so we basically reduced our back office down to an experience that's like 100 times simpler, but has better products and better information. And that has been a layered process of literally chopping off, not actually adding to anything in our process, except for adding personalization to help you guys sell it better. And so if you actually log in, those of you who are members, we have a single orientation process. By the time somebody's done with it, it takes about an hour. They know exactly what to do to market with us online. And then the action steps that somebody needs to take are released every single day in the members area at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and they're new every day, and that comes out on a schedule 5 days a week. And we also have new content that goes out every day. It's a massively simpler, massively easier to use experience. And I've been working on the process of simplification to build into a vision. And in addition to simplification, what we've been doing is we've been rebuilding our core technology to be able to work and scale with lots of systems on the internet. And so we were building technology in a way that in 2011, 2012, I was building technology in a smart way. I let people take over it. I shouldn't have allowed to run technology. And they didn't do that good of a job, and I wasn't watching over it. So really, that's me, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about technology systems and how to do things in a good way. And so what I've been doing is been rebuilding the systems to be modular in a way that anytime we want to change something, we can change it and affect the entire system rather than having to edit things all over the system. And so I've been working on the technology, and I've also been working on the quality of the experience and the quality of the products, and in the process of doing that, taking everything that we're doing and building it in a way that can scale internationally and also through other languages, other countries, also through new groups of people, through different marketing modalities. And so that has been a major process. I could get into a lot of detail of how we've done that. In addition to that, we've been working on our automation technology. We have a product called mgtow Cloud that is an autoresponder. It's got video hosting. It's got automated webinars in it. And if you log into that, we basically beta launched that last year. You'll notice that it loads about 10 times as fast right now. Everything in it works well. We built email deliverability algorithms that about tripled our open rates, and what we're going to be doing over the next 3 months is going to be building the strongest open rates in the industry. And the way that we did that is by building smart algorithms that control when email is sent when we're sending out broadcasts. And this is things that I do all the time, but I have to do them manually. But if you put them into a system, what it does is it makes it so as we're delivering email, the deliverability rates go up because there's certain rules that ISPs use to control who gets in the email inbox and who doesn't. And you'll notice even some of the big name gurus right now, they're going into spam, right? And we've had problems with that in the past where we've been sending email because our lists are so big, and then there's periods of time Google changes something and then we end up in spam. And so this last year, what we've been doing is we've been changing our email strategy to make it to where when we're sending out email, the open rate is actually increasing all the time, which is not normal for email marketers if you talk to people online. So like over the last 6 months, we've gone from like the amount of opens every month that we have, or like the amount of opens we have on our list, to like a few 100,000, couple 100,000 opens a month, to right now, we literally have 1.3 opens a month in our emails right now, and that's actually increasing up from last month, about 1.1 million opens in a month. And the clicks that we're having going through in our email delivery have also massively increased by about 50%. So I've been working a lot on mechanical processes where I don't actually build the processes, but I mastermind, brainstorm them, help plan them, and then the individual people in different departments actually go and implement those things because I couldn't do all this stuff on my own. I've got a great team of people around me. So in addition to rebuilding fast start process, simplifying the experience, and building better technology that's actually preparing into a way where we can scale internationally, what I've been doing is I've been customizing our sales process. And here's why. I want to explain exactly what I'm doing and the philosophy behind it, because to me the philosophy is actually more important than the conversions on an immediate result on a certain process, although we do really have high conversions, and we've been doing stuff especially in the last few weeks that's massively increased them. Because what a conversion is really representative of is not a number. A conversion is a decision in a human being, right? And if you've got great products and if you've got things that your market wants, you should sell in the best way for that market, in the sense that the people that can use that product buy the product from your material, right? And the people that you don't want, they don't buy it, right? So one of the things that I've been doing has been a lot of demographic research into our niche, and also what people really want and who our good buyers are. Because in our company, just like in any business that you marketed in the past, maybe you're in a different business, maybe you have a traditional local business, we've all had good customers, we've all had customers that we wish we never had. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, especially in online marketing, where they want to help people make money, they're going after broke people, right? They're going after like broke people who are going to be awful customers because the broke people really want to be in some sort of a scheme. And so they do things in a way, and I've done this in the past, where they're attracting all the broke people and driving away all the good customers, right? So I've been doing is I've been actually looking at our demographics, not just from our list and our buyers, right? I've been looking at the demographics through what we've got inside of our company. Who are our great buyers, right? Because I've got like tons of data over, like 500,000 customers, over 5 million leads, right? So out of that, I look at that and I say, out of these buyers, who are the ones that were the very funnest to work with, who bought the most stuff, who stayed in for the longest, who got the best results? And that actually narrowed the demographic quite significantly across our whole buyer base and across our whole history, because nobody has numbers on this industry like I do, because I have a company that's just done more sales with more people, right? If that makes sense. It's not criticizing what somebody else is doing, we just have more demographic data. And so I've uploaded those, I've cross-referenced it with different data systems, and when I take a look at our data, for example, our list, like the list that we emailed this from, we have everybody on it. I mean, we've got poor people, we've got teenagers, we've got older people, we've got middle-aged people, we've got baby boomers, we've got people 25 to 35 married, we've got single people, we got people of every religion, we got people of every race, right? But the reality is that our buyer demographics, although they include all the races, all the sexes, right, whether people are married or not, it's actually like you take the society, right, like this, and our demographic for our really good buyers are like this. And so what we've been doing is we've been working on systems that will make the people that really want our stuff, that are really good customers that love to work with us, want to buy our stuff, which is actually the middle class, okay, is our best buyer group. And so I've been doing a lot of demographic research, a lot of demographic segmentation, and I've also been working on the marketing team to build personalized sales process to make sure that we're selling people what they want and not selling them what they don't want. And so what I've been doing in the process there is a lot of experiments. Some of the experiments have worked well, some of them haven't worked so well. But I always look at that, and I made an episode about this actually that you probably saw in the last episode, the last couple of episodes, and I talk about this all the time. Failure isn't failure, it's feedback. It's telling you a different way to do something, right? So when I go out there, I test something, I see if it works. If it doesn't, I change it. So the other week, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I had an idea. I was like, I think that if I take all the upsells down in our process, I think we'll do more upsells, right? And I just removed them as a test temporarily, right? Now I have to watch numbers if I do things like that because it could be destructive. But I was actually right. Removing the upsells about doubled them. And the reason is because what was happening is we were driving away the customers we were bringing in by having upsell after upsell after upsell, which is an old internet model. Where right now what we do is we're bringing people in, we're orienting them, getting a customer service call where they find out what they need and want, and then we get them to another coach if they're in a demographic of people that want to be long-term inside of our community. But just doing that, it about tripled our upsells and actually about doubled our retention, okay? And so you look at those two things, it's a massive increase in revenue with way less friction, with way less cognitive dissonance. And where all this going is actually very simple, okay? You're gonna see this daily show over the course of the next year grow to where every single day we're going to have 100,000 people clicking on the link and coming to this show. You're going to see it grow over the next 3 years to where you're going to have 1 million people a day clicking on it. This show is going to grow, our process is going to grow, our funnels are going to get way more personalized, and we're going to help tons of people make lots of money on the internet regardless of whether you're one of them or not. That's actually the direction we're going, and we're going to help people inside of our business and people who are not in our business because that's what the market wants. And so you're going to see this evolve over the next little bit as we've been building a coaching process, building a coaching team. What I've also been doing is this, rather than taking what we've got and saying, let's just sell this harder, what I've been doing is I've been working with the coaches and I've been saying, okay, we've got a coaching team here. When you're on the phone with people, what do people actually have money for that they want to buy, that they would buy if we had it, but we didn't have it? And we've came out with a list of things that are offers that are in between our other things that if people want them, we'll have available because we've been paying attention to the marketplace. So that all leads into somewhere, and where's that? To optimizing your results. So I want to give you guys an update on what I've actually been working on. Whether you're affiliates or not affiliates, we're basically here to help you make more money, and you may have understood that, you may not have. But let me talk to you about the future real quick, okay? So where are we going and where's the future going? Well, a couple things, right? This daily shortcut is going to continue to grow, multilingual across the world, and you can continue to see new things and new modalities of marketing with it over the course of the next year. And a lot of you still don't understand it. It's perfectly fine. You'll understand it over the next 6 months as you see what I'm doing in action. The bird is singing because he knows what I'm saying is true. Now that bird might be a she. I'm not sure about that. But here's the thing, right? We're going to be building this out, and also building out our personalized sales process to where we're selling people what they want. In addition, we're going into an event we're having in Atlanta, Georgia, here this next month, where I'm meeting with a private group of people where we're going to go over the vision that we're going to have over the next 10 or the next 100 years. That's available to members. If you are in Empower, you're welcome to log in to get your tickets. If you're not in, of course you can join. You can come hang out in Atlanta. I'd love to have you out there. Now, here's what I want to talk about right now is I want to talk about the direction of the future as far as technology and internet's concerned, and how you can fit in, how we can fit in. All right? I've been reading a lot. One of the things that I do is every week I print between probably 300 and I actually print things just because I'll pay attention better, but I'll print 300 pages, 1,000 pages of stuff, usually every week, okay, with news releases, technology updates, right, marketing split tests, and I just sit there and I read through them because I read fast and I understand things in large chunks, right? And so I've been looking through technology, I've been looking through trends in the marketplace on what's been happening in different companies in the world, and we've got some massive developments coming that have been happening over this last year in 2016, and especially in the last quarter of 2016, that are like massive leaps in technology that are going to really change the world, okay? And if you're not aware of those, you're going to get left behind with technology and where technology's been. So we've had a lot of stuff happen this last quarter. We had the elections, there's tons of drama, there's re-elections, and then Trump wins again, and then you got people rioting and throwing things in the streets, and nobody's paying attention to technology developments, right? Well, we've got some technology building right now, and I'm talking about world technology where Facebook, Google, Amazon, right, and also Elon Musk, right? I don't have notes, right, other than bullet points, right? Elon Musk, and I'm missing somebody here. Google, Facebook, Elon Musk, Microsoft, right? They all put about $1 billion into artificial intelligence technology in the last quarter of this year. Actually, Microsoft right now is betting the whole future of their company on artificial intelligence technology. And if you look online, there's a lot of things not a lot of people understand. Over this last year, there was some major leaps in different programs that Google has, different programs that Facebook has. Facebook actually launched a successful launch of a drone plane that is actually there to beam internet to the 4 billion people in the world that don't have internet, because the thing that stops Facebook from expanding is the expansion of technology, and a lot of the world does not have good infrastructure to move internet. So Facebook built an artificial intelligent plane that flies by itself, that's mostly solar powered, that can fly for 3 months at a time before stopping to get checked, that can float around a city like this and beam, right, internet signals that are faster than most of the signals that we have in first world countries, right, from this plane that's connected to satellites, right? That's an example of what happened this last year. There's no driver. The AI is driving. In addition to that, Uber launched a whole fleet of self-driving cars, right? And those cars are now driving better than human beings and getting in less accident. In addition to that, Tesla has been launching cars that drive themselves, completely prepared for a future when the people just stop driving entirely and just sit in the back seat and read, and the machines will actually drive the cars better than human beings will. In addition to that, right, this last year, this is something not a lot of people know, Microsoft put a artificial intelligence self-learning chat on Twitter. And this Twitter chat, because of course it's not a human, just started talking and had like 30,000 conversations in a day. By the end of the day, it hated humans and loved Hitler. It was like the weirdest thing in the world to see, and then Microsoft took it down and it was like, it's a disaster, right? We've had some major technology leaps in artificial intelligence technology this last year, and also virtual reality technology, and also computational processing technology in the realms of quantum computing. And I talked about this actually in a Facebook post, but not a lot of people understand it. I'm just going to confuse you, but basically in about 2 years probably, a chip this big will be able to process more things than there are atoms in the whole universe because of quantum mechanical processing. So there's a big technology boom happening right now that's not really a boom, but it's like the microchip, okay? So if you go back to the flight to the moon, we invented the microchip from heading to the moon in the United States moon mission from NASA. NASA invented the microchip. The microchip completely changed technology. So right now you're watching this maybe on a cell phone, maybe on a computer, and this is coming back to Empower here in a second. And you're watching this right now and you're taking a look at that on some piece of technology. That piece of technology that you're holding is most likely more intelligent and more capable as a processor than all of the computers in the entire world were in the late 1990s. That's how fast technology has been advancing. However, that has been an exponential expansion from a linear progression in technology from something called Moore's Law. So the way that technology expansion works, and this is no notes by the way, I'm just talking. So the way that technology expansion works with Moore's Law is, you can go read about that actually, Wikipedia, M-O-O-R-E-S, or R-E and then apostrophe S. I don't want to actually ruin the law because I'm going to misquote it. But basically, right, it talks about the exponential expansion of microprocessor chip technology. And so what happens is this. Microprocessors work by something called a bit. Okay, this is an oversimplification. And so you have a 1 or a 0 that can fit in 1 bit. And all of the programming languages like PHP code, like JavaScript, what they do is they manipulate the way that processors work, and they interact with your experience of technology. So you're looking on a screen and you're seeing images that are generated from pixels that are then generated down from programming languages that then are rooted in microprocessors with 1s and 0s, and everything that you experience on a computer is a 1 or a 0, okay? So in order to expand processor speed, what do you have to do? And this is the way that technology has been exponentially expanding. Well, you have to increase the number of bits, or you have to decrease the size that they fit in, or increase the efficiency of them. And now we're running into problems where we can't do that anymore because they're getting too hot. And so now we have to come up with better cooling technology. So last year, for example, Google sicked an AI on increasing their efficiency of their cooling technology and was able to reduce their energy expenditures by 40%, and a human didn't come up with it, an AI came up with it. It's a big leap in technology. There's a bunch of other things that happened this year. Well, there's something that's been theoretical for a long time, but now is not theoretical, and that's quantum computing. Now, quantum computing takes principles from quantum mechanics, it transposes them into computing. And what you can do because of the existence of certain kinds of subatomic particles in the quantum world is you can actually superimpose two states in one space at the same time, and there's been a theoretical thing called a qubit. Now a qubit, what that is rather than having a 1 or a 0, you have a 1 and a 0 in one space simultaneously. What that does is it makes it so every one of those you add, you exponentially expand, you double the processing capability that it can do simultaneously. So let me tell you how this works. So if you have a normal microchip and you have a bit, in order to add a linear amount of processing, you add another bit. And you have 2 bits, you have double the processing. You have 10 bits, you have 10 times the processing. Well, quantum mechanical processing doesn't work that way. Okay, what it does is because there's 2 states superimposed over one space, each space can do 2 things at once, both at once, okay, in the same space. And this is because quantum mechanics. Now, what that does is it does this. So 1 qubit processes 2 things at once, 2 processes 4, 3 processes 8, 4 processes 16, 5 processes 32, right? 6 processes 64, 7 processes 128, 8 processes 256, and you got 512 with 9, right? So by the time you get to 300, you've got a chip that has 300 qubits that processes at the same time as many calculations as there are atoms in the entire known universe, and the universe is fucking huge, okay? What that means is this: a linear progression in our ability to use qubits as technology will cause not an exponential expansion in processing capability because of Moore's law. What happens is, as we develop new technology, the new technology is used to develop the old technology, which causes an exponential expansion curve of our ability to process information, and that's what's caused the boom in technology that a lot of us are in the middle of, and we don't even notice how our cell phone is more complex than the tricorder was in 1995 Star Trek episodes, right? And that was talking about like the future, and the cell phone can do more stuff that we have from like Apple or Google, right? So here's what we've got basically. We've got, right now we're on like this precipice of a technology expansion that's going to move faster than the microchip has changed reality since like the last third of the last century, right? And so what's going to happen over the course of this year, over the next few years, we've got all the biggest technology corporations that have put money into artificial intelligence technology, and there's like a race right now for who can develop quantum mechanical processing. My point is this, is that if we want to affect a lot of things, we've got to find a way to fit into the way that the world technology is changing, and that's what I've been developing a plan to do, because it's not staying the same. I promise you, everything's about to change. Your future's about to change, and the world is about to get very weird. Now, it might take a year, it might take 3, but it's happening, and here's how I know. I was reading about this at the end of 2015, or last quarter of 2015. I stopped following up with it, and I was like, okay, because it was like quantum mechanical processing was still theoretical, right? Well, right now, Microsoft has a stable qubit quantum mechanical processor with 5 qubits in it. Now, that's not very many, and it can't even process as much as like any of the good processors today by a long shot. But literally all they need to do is get to about, I think, 30 qubits or something, and it's more powerful than all the processors in the world, right? It's that fast of an expansion. And so to give you an idea of how powerful that is, I was actually just sending this to a friend of mine, John Cronstead, who was the CEO here for a while, right? And what it'll do is this: in like 15 years, something the size of your cell phone that costs less than $1,000 would be intelligent enough to hack into all the Facebook accounts and all the computers in all the world in a billionth of a second, that fast, right? That's how big of a difference it is. And so we are in a space right now where reality is about to shift in a big way, right? And the big corporations of the world are doing very weird things. And so when we look at the current and the direction of time, what we've got to do is we got to step into a current and then change it, right? Because you can't change the direction of the current and reverse it. That's not practical, right? It's not smart either, and it takes too much energy and resources. But what you can do is you can step into a current, and you can change the energy and direction of the current by being a part of the current. So Empower Network's going to do that, and we're going to do that by empowering people to be entrepreneurs, starting with the fact that we need help you make money right now. And in order to make money, in order to be a part of changing things, right, and I'm telling you, there are bigger things happening right now than you understand. What we need to do is we need to enter into that current and change the direction of it, because we're going to go out there over the next 100 years, impact 1 billion people. The question is are you going to be in or not? This is a mouthful today, right? Free flow, right? You're like, how do you even talk like that? It's because I'm weird. Here's what you need to do, okay? You and I, we can change things, and we can lock arms, and we can make things different, okay? It's not a pitch. Honestly, if you don't get involved with what we're doing, I hope you succeed. The reality is what we're going to do is going to be great, because I want to empower people to be entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs end up changing the infrastructure of reality. Right now, Reality is weird, and it's not the way humans should be. People work too much, they make too little money. And it's not about work. I like working, and I probably work more than most of you, but if you're gonna work, you should like your work, right? People do things they don't like all day in order to have something they don't want, and it makes no sense at all, right? So I've always been from this line of thinking with Empower Network, where I just wanna help people make money in a simple way, right? Let's just do this and let's just make money. And I have a very complex brain, and sometimes I oversimplify it because it wigs people out, right? I'm not better than people. I think differently though, right? And so the reality is that I want to help you to change your life. To change your life, it starts by changing your finances, changing belief systems, changing what's possible for you from internal level, from a spiritual level, from what you're doing with your mind, and then it transforms into an external transformation, and you transforming your community, transforming business, transforming the world. But to do that, I got to start with the first step, which is helping you make money. Now, how do I do that? Well, how we're doing that is what we're doing right now, which is personalized sales processes, because we have ways of tapping in to technology resources that are available in the world, and you're going to see that because what we're building is not an end result of what the plan is. What we're doing is compounding into a plan that's going somewhere that's great. And one thing that I'll tell you is I'll be here 5 years from now, and I'll be here 100 years from now, although I might be dead by then. But I figure if I live to 60 years old, that health technology is advancing fast enough that I could probably live another 200 years. And so, you know, that's cool, but maybe it won't happen. I don't really care how long I live, but in 100 years will impact 1 billion people. But it starts with now. How do we do that? We got to go back towards now. It starts by helping you make money. We help you make money, and then what do? Well, then we got to move into the reality structure that impacts human beings. And what are those things that impact human beings? It's the way they trade things. It's the way they transport. It's the way they move commodities, right? It's access to education, and it's access to the things that they need for survival. It's energy, and it's the belief systems that they've got inside, and how we're actually educating society. And there's a lot better ways of doing things that we can be a part of, play a role in, and it's going to start with you. So what do I mean by that? How do you change the world? Well, the way that you do it is actually really simple, right? You change the world by changing yourself. Back in 10 years ago, I was living up in Alaska at my parents' house. This is before the van story, right? Those of you who know me for a long time, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. Just put your email in and follow me for a while, right? We're a real interesting crowd. But the thing is like, it's 10 years ago. I'm up in Alaska. I'm living in my mom's house, and I hear this audio training, and I just thought it was brilliant. I just knew instinctively I should send it to my brother Will. So I take this audio training, I send it to my brother Will, who's living in Utah at the time, and at the time he was miserable. He was working for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and he was like a really good Viagra salesman, right? I don't know if he'll talk about that, but like, he never took the Viagra. He doesn't need it. He's from the Wood family. Our last name is Wood. That stands for hard penis. But in case you didn't, Jose's laughing, right? But the reality is that he sold Viagra, right? And so, but he was miserable. He hated that job, and it wasn't that he wasn't mad at Pfizer. They were good to him. It was that he wanted to do something different. I sent him this, and he was having like this terrible pain in his head. That the doctors told him that he had to get on some sort of really intense pain medication that he thought he'd get addicted to, so he didn't want to take it. So he was just dealing with headaches. A bug just flew in my head, almost trying to give me a headache, but I swatted it with my kung fu. But like, basically he used the NLP and he got rid of his headaches, right? And I was explaining that the other day to my girlfriend. She was like, what, you can do that? And I'm like, well, yeah, there's no reason a headache is there unless you've got like brain cancer or something. Normally what happens is actually people's minds are generating the headache, right? And people are like, I'm mad, I get headaches. Okay. My brother got rid of like migraine headaches that were almost putting him in the hospital through hypnosis. He also got rid of an anaphylactic allergy to shrimp, like that used to send him to the hospital, and he could just eat shrimp now, okay? Not making that up. And there's a lot of weird things I could tell you about what the mind can do, because the mind can do quantum mechanical computing too. But that's another episode, and mostly theoretical, but partially ingrained in reality. But I'll talk to you about it another future time. The point is with this, he got rid of his headaches, he changed his whole career. So I have this ability, this is what I figured out about myself over the years. I'm a weird guy, right? But I go into people's lives and the direction of their lives just change. They take on whole new careers. It happens all over the time. I have affected tens of thousands of people to start different companies. And so I've looked at that over the years, because I always enjoyed network marketing, so I've been building a team, and I see these people start these companies, and I look at that and I'm like, I can help people do this on a massive scale because I'm so good at it, right? I changed my brother's career, I changed everybody in my family's careers nearly. I've also changed everybody that's connected to me. Their careers have changed. Whether they're working with me or not, the whole direction of the future and the energy that they're putting in the universe has changed. So I'm a change artist for creating people and just putting them on a new path. My brother is a transformational kind of spiritual change artist through hypnosis, NLP, personal change strategies coaching that he studied. He actually trained psychologists in Peru in fluent Spanish. Not a lot of people know that his Spanish actually sounds native, but you can't quite tell where he's from. Whereas mine sounds like really bad American, like really bad. You just take the worst sounding American you have and then imagine I'm saying it, and that's what my Spanish sounds like. My point was this, right? We can take what we've got, we can impact people to go out there and start entirely new things and become real business people. That will weave its way into impacting the infrastructure of human experience that can change the direction of the future and transform society, because this is what the world needs. The world needs people who become who I believe God made them to be, or what's in their heart to be, or what their higher self made them to be, however you want to describe that higher power. I believe people are made to do something very specific. Some people are made to impact a lot of people. Some people are made, and they should just clean things. They want to, right? However, people need to be aligned with their purpose. We can do that. And it starts with you aligning to who you are, the way that you're going to do that, putting your email in and seeing if we could help you. Go to the next page. I've actually got a formula there on how you can start by making money this next year. And then we've also got bonuses from today's content. Today was a mouthful, right? And I've got some written bonuses as well, where I wrote out a post explaining some of these principles I'm talking about. And it's not free flow like this, but we've got a written thing, and we've also got the audio of today's show, so you can listen to this a few times. Just be prepared. Future's changing. We're going to be a part of that. And the question is, do you want to be part of it or not? Put your email in. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you're going to change. Best comment today, I'm going to send you a free book. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to blow a kissy face and say that you're awesome. I love you.